going to look at how we can create a multi-level hierarchy. Okay, so we're going to look at a code example. We're going to create a code example where the subclass box weight is going to be used as a superclass to create the subclass that we will call shipment. So then shipment is going to actually inherit all the traits of the box weight and also the box traits, and then it is going to add to itself some other fields, for example cost, that actually each parcel is going to hold. Now let's come here in my package. I just want to also delete this one. I don't want to have any naming conflicts right now. I'm not putting, I was not keeping track of the names that I use for classes. Now I'm going to right click on this, and I'm gonna go to new, and I'm gonna go to class, and I will call this I'll give it a class that we have actually used in previous in previous examples. That is just the box class. Can just, or let me just call it demo shipment. Demo shipment. So our class, we call it demo shipment. We have our class, we call it demo shipment. All right, so let's go on now. In this example, remember we need to create the box class. Then we're going to create a subclass for the box class. Then that subclass is going to be a superclass to another class, so that we create a multi-level hierarchy. So let's start with the box class. We say class box, and the class box is actually taking some private instance variable, private double width. It's also taking private double height. It's also taking private double depth. Yeah, so it's taking the three, it's taking the three variables. It's taking the three variables, and then we are going to so we need to create the constructor clone of an object in here. Then just put some comments and say construct clone of an object, and we said clone of an object. Here we are actually using the box, so the box is going to take in objects of the type box, the box ob. And then we are going to say that width is equal to ob dot width. Say that height is equal to ob dot height. We say that depth is equal to ob dot depth. So that is the object clone we have created. So I want us to move on and create the constructor that we are going to use when we have all the dimensions of the box specified. Constructor when all dimensions are specified. The constructor when all the dimensions are specified. So we have box, and this box is going to take double w double h double d, and then width is equal to w, height is equal to h, and then depth is equal to d. Okay, so we will also need a constructor when we don't have any dimension specified. So constructor when no dimensions specified. When you have no dimension specified, so we need to have box, and it's not taking anything. And here we are going to actually initialize all these dimensions to -1. So width is actually -1. Height is also -1. And then we have depth, which is also -1. Remember, we said -1 shows an initialized box. Now we need another constructor for creation of a cube. When you want to create a cube, so constructor to create a cube, and for the constructor for the cube we are supplying a single dimension, so that is going to be double length, and then we are saying that the width is same as height, which is same as depth, which is same as the length of that cube. So for this class of ours, we need now to have a method, the method that is going to compute and return the volume. So we compute and we return the volume, compute and return the volume. So the method is returning double, and the method name is volume, and it's not taking any parameters. We supply it with okay, let's see this error. What is it about? This method must return. Okay, we are doing to that. So return, we are returning width multiplied by height multiplied by depth. Width multiplied by height multiplied by depth is what we are returning. So we are done with this class. So what we need to do is now to create a subclass that is adding another element, that is weight. So to do that, we need to extend the box class. So class, we say box weight extends box class box weight extends box, and then here we actually need to add the variable weight initial, we declare it. Then let's have a constructor for clone project, for clone objects. So say constructor clone of object, and what we have here is box weight, and what we are taking in is again box weight, the object of box weight. So box weight ob, and this one is referring, or we are calling the constructor for the superclass of the box weight by using the keyword super. And then we need to assign weight again to ob.weight. Need to assign weight to ob.weight. So this class also needs to implement the constructor when all parameters are specified, constructor when all dimensions are specified. So to do that, we need to have the class name, which is box weight, and then the parameters that the class name takes, which is double double W double H double D double M, which is standing for weight. And once we've done that, we need to call the superclass that is a constructor to the box weight, which is actually the box class that has 3 parameters. So we need to say super, and we specify the parameters of this particular class, which is W, H, and D. So this one is going to call a superclass constructor called superclass. It's going to call superclass constructor. Of course, the superclass in this case is box, so it will be called there. Then let's assign M to weight. Okay, let's have also, we need to have a default constructor. So we need to have a default constructor, and for the default constructor we have box weight. It's not taking any parameters, and we call super, we supply it with no parameters again, and then we assign weight to -1. Weight is equal to -1. That is our default constructor, guys. Now we need to have the constructor that will be used to create a cube. Constructor when a cube is created. Constructor when a cube is created. So we have box weight, and the box weight is going to take in two instance two variables. The first one is length and the other one is weight, so it is double M as we had specified in some other parts. So we have box weight, this is double N comma double M. So this particular constructor is just taking length, so let's call the constructor of this superclass, and we supply it with len, and then after supplying it len, of course we must assign M to 8. Okay, so we are done with this. So we want to create a third subclass, that is a subclass to the class box weight, that is going to add on the cost of shipping. So we can say adding shipping cost, and for this class we are going to have the class, we call it shipment, and this class is going to extend the box weight. So to extend box weight, class is going to extend box weight. In other words, it's going to inherit from the box weight, which is a subclass of the superclass box. That means the box weight automatically becomes a superclass of the shipment class. So it has an added element which is cost, so we need to have the constructor clone of the object. So constructor clone of object, and here we say shipment, we say shipment, and then we supply it shipment ob, then we have the curly braces. This is shipment. Let's correct this, shipment. And then we have you need to use super. We call the super class of shipment. In this case we are calling the box weight class. Then we assign cost to ob.cost. Assign cost to ob.cost. So we need to implement all the other operators in this case. All the other constructors. So we will move into the constructor that will be called when the all the other modifiers are all the other dimensions are specified. We're gonna have it in here. So let's have a comment when all dimensions are specified. So let's implement that. To do that, we call shipment. We have shipment, and shipment is gonna take in double W. It's gonna take in double H. It's gonna take in double D. Is also gonna take in double M. But we have cost in this case, so it's also gonna take in double C, which is going to stand for cost. Now once we have all these, again we need to call the the constructor of the superclass constructor of shipment. So we're just saying super, and what we are actually getting from this particular constructor are 4 variables. That is the width, the depth, we are getting the height, we are getting the M. Let's maintain the order here so that we have width followed by height, then followed by depth, and then followed by M. That is the order. So let's assign C to cost. So cost is equal to C. So assign C to cost. To that juncture we are good to go. So we also need to have the default constructor again for this default constructor. So for the default constructor we say shipment no parameters, and we actually call the super. For this we don't specify any variables, and then here we assign of course cost to negative 1. Assign cost to -1. It's very important that you are actually able to follow this coding with me. We have started getting a little bit complicated, but we are still covering some simple concepts that you should be able to really understand. Okay, so we need to also have the constructor that will be used when a cube is created. When a cube is created, we should have the constructor. So we say shipment and what we supply here is double n for the cube, and we are also supplying remember we are also supplying the weight, which was double M, and then we are supplying the cost again, so that is going to be double C. We're also supplying the cost, that is double C. So when we are there, we need to call the super, and this time we are calling the super that is going to contain the length and M. Okay, then we assign C to cost. Again we assign C to cost. Alright, so that's it. We can get to our we can get to our main method. We can get to our main method. So let's create our main method. Say public static void main, public static void main. Here we say string args, and we have our square brackets. Then let's have our curly braces out here. Okay, let's have our curly braces out here, and then inside the main, first thing you're going to do is you're going to create two objects, shipment 1 and shipment 2. You can create as many objects as you want. To do that, we need to specify the class shipment, and then we have shipment 1 is equal to new shipment, and this particular object will give it 10, will give it a width of 10, value 20, the value 15, probably the value 23, the value 4.56. okay, can create another one. So you say shipment 2 is equal to new shipment, and this we supply 2, 3, 4, we supply something like 1.23, and we supply finally 4.6. Then we specify our volume, so double vol. Then we want to get the volume for the first object, so vol is equal to shipment 1 dot volume, Then after getting this, we want to to print volume, so we say system dot out dot print ln. We say shipment 1 volume is, so that now out here we can put a space, okay, plus space, then plus vol, so we want to print the volume. Okay, then we need to also let's print the weight as well. System dot out dot print ln, let's say shipment 1 weight is, and then let's outside here let's have empty space. Then let's have we want to get the weight, so it is shipment 1 dot weight, let's also it is my hope that you are able to follow along as I code. If you need to pause the video, you pause the video in the cases that I might be faster. So system dot out dot print ln, and what again we want to print here is the shipment cost, so we can say shipment 1 cost is, and then we give some space, so plus that, then we again plus shipment 1 dot cost, because we want to print the cost at that level. So we can print a new line, an empty line, so system dot out dot print ln, just print a new line there. So again, let's do the same for the second object. So vol is equal to shipment 2 dot volume. Again, we need to literally call we need to print the volume. So again, I think here I'm just gonna copy all this stuff here to save on time. We'll copy all this stuff and make some changes. I'm gonna paste them there. So after pasting them there, we need to make some changes. So this one is shipment 2. This is also shipment 2. This is also shipment 2. We also need to come here and change this to shipment 2 dot weight, and this shipment 2 dot cost. Also change this to shipment 2 dot cost. Let's print and see. Let's run that. Let's check the output here. So you see shipment 1 volume is 3000, shipment 1 weight is 23, shipment cost is 4.56, shipment 2 volume is that. So you can see the output right away here. Okay, one thing you need to note is that shipment can actually make use of the previous defined classes of box and even box weight because of inheritance. So it is only adding some extra information that it needs for its own use. And you look at shipment here, it's just adding some extra information that it needs for its own use, but it is able to use all the other previous defined details of the other classes. Now this is the value of inheritance because it allows what we call reusability of code. You are able to use code over and over. You don't need to define or write some more lines of code. So the superclass will always refer to the constructor that is in the closest superclass. So when we just have super orb, for example, here in the shipment, it will refer to the constructor that is the superclass, the constructor of the superclass of the shipment, which in that case is going to be the box weight. So again, the super that we have in shipment is going to call the constructor that is in the box weight, while the one that we have in the box weight is actually going to call the constructor that is in the box. So it's good to understand that in Java all the three classes that we have in this program could have been placed in separate files and have them compiled separately, because this is actually the norm when we are creating some class hierarchies. But here I have put all these classes on the same file just to simplify things for you. So the next thing that we need to look at is the order of calling constructors in class hierarchy. So we need to know that constructors are called in what we call the order of derivation in class hierarchies from the superclass to the subclass. So this order is actually the same whether the superclass is used or not, because because the super is actually the first statement that is being executed in a subclass. So if super is not used, we have what we call the default parameter, the default, or maybe what we call the parameterless constructor that is actually being used. We just need an example to just show or to demonstrate the order. Let me just come to lessons and create a new class. I'm going to new and say class. I'm just trying to demonstrate the order in which the constructors are being called. That is what I'm trying to demonstrate at this particular point. Now let's do something like this. Let me just call it what should I call this class again? I'm just being careful not to repeat. Okay, let me just say calling constructors. Let me just call it that. Calling cons for calling constructors. So here we are going to first of all create we just want to see the order of calling constructors in a class hierarchy. So our program is demonstrating when constructors are being called. So we are going to create a superclass. We're going to create a superclass. So we just say class A is our superclass, and we have a constructor in A, and this we have a method in A, and this method is simply printing some message. So let's say system dot out dot print ln, and let's just have the method inside is constructor. Just print that message inside is constructor, and then let's have our superclass just ending there. I just want to keep things simple. So let's now create a subclass by extending say subclass by extending A. Let's extend A to create a subclass B. So we can say class B extends A, class B extends A, and let's give it a method that is a construct again rather, and B, then let's print something, system dot out dot print ln, and here let's just say inside B's constructor inside B's constructor. Okay, so let's also have this ending there. The next thing that I want to do is we want to create a subclass to B by making sure that I am actually extending B. So let's say class, let's just call it C. It is extending B, so extends B, class C extends B, and this one we are going to give it a constructor, constructor C that is actually not taking any parameters, and then it is printing the message system.out.print ln. The message that is printing is inside C's constructor inside C's constructor. Okay, now let's go to the main, and in the main here let's create our main public static void main and let's say string args. Let's have our square brackets, and then let's have our curly braces following next. So in here we just want to create another object, an object that is going to be an instance of the class C. So we call it C. Let's call the object with C, that is small letter, is equal to new capital C. We are creating an object that is an instance of the class C, which is a subclass of the class B. Alright, then if we just create this object here, C is equal to new C. What we are trying to really demonstrate in this particular example is the order of calling constructors. How are the constructors called? In what order are they called? Okay, so we have created this. Let me call all these three methods down here. So it will be C dot B. No, let me run this. Let's see. Let's run that. Let's see the output. So Inside A is constructor, inside B is constructor, inside C constructor. In other words, these constructors are called in the order from the superclass heading to the subclass. So the main superclass is the A, which is a superclass of B. Now B is a subclass of A, so B is called next. Now C is a subclass of B, so it's called next, in that particular order. It's very important for us to really understand that.